Have some fantastic students and former students here with us today who'd like to share some of their own experience, backgrounds, advice for the college, and kind of help us start a discussion about some of the issues related to working with immigrant students. And this will be very interactive, so if you have questions or want clarification, or you have some things you'd like our panel to respond to, please don't be afraid to let them know, because they have a wealth of experience and ideas to share with you. Our first, you have this paper that went around. There are more up here if anybody would like one. Have little bios, if you will, on some of our people here. At the end there in the red is Olga Jaeger, and she is one of our ESL administrative assistants here at the college. And over here on this end we have, she's going to fix it, Jem Ozjan, who has been one of my students, and I never got her last name right, and that's my fault. But she is from Turkey, and she is currently a student here at the college. Karen Peralta is here also, and she's from the Dominican Republic. She is currently a student here at the college, and was one of our student workers last year. Over here we have Clark. This is Clark Toussaint, okay, from Haiti. He is, you're currently, yes, he's still here. He's PSL and gone into some other areas. And Renata Lipinska, many of you have seen Renata around. Renata was a student here. She does some tutoring for us for ESL and anything else we ask her. And she's always there to help us out. And as you met during the keynote, Bashar has joined us for this discussion as well. So I'm turning it over to them. However, I do want to say that the committee thanks you, and we have some L-Tri-C beach towels to thank you for participation in the panel discussion. And L-Tri-C, yes, that's beach. Yes, now you're ready for next year. You can still use it.
Be able to find you all easily at the beach.
Oh, okay, I'll place it.
Okay. All right, I'll start. Okay, my name is Olga Jaeger. I am an ESL assistant or administrative assistant here. However, I'm also a former ESL student, which I'm very, very, very proud of. I came from Russia in 2008, and I already had my bachelor's. I only needed 1 or 2 more credits just to complete it because there was issues with transition, so I could have taken a few more credits and in any 4-year school here to complete my bachelor's. However, I decided not to do so, and I decided to start from scratch and get a completely different bachelor's degree here in America. My first bachelor's was in linguistics and Russian literature with a minor in English as a foreign language. So I'll be lying if I say that ESL changed my life because I started speaking English all of a sudden. I'm not even gonna lie, I was pretty confident with English. I didn't have English barrier when I came here. However, ESL and L-Tri-C gave me even more than just the language support, because I was placed in the latest class of the ESL program, 251, and I came there all confident that I don't need it because I spoke fine. So I came there, and it just opened my eyes on American education because it was so drastically and dramatically different from what I was used to. And if it wasn't for that class, I would have never be able to write an English 5-paragraph regular paper that we all learn how to write in 105, because in Russia, even though I was majoring in writing papers, it was perfectly fine to have a 6-page introduction before you get to your first point. It was perfectly fine. It was encouraged to have a 6-page introduction before you get to your first point. And then in the first ESL class that I took, that's 251, we were writing papers. I think the first was before Dead Poets Society in that class, and Professor Munia gave us the little rubric kind of thing of how the structure works and everything. And I was looking, I was like, what? 1 paragraph of a thesis, and you tell them up front what you're going to tell? Who does that? You're supposed to have an intrigue over there going on. So it was very, very helpful, and I was very glad that I was placed to that class, and then I went to college English 105 right away, and then 106, and I learned even more there. And why I'm telling you that is that had I gone to 4-year school right away, and finished that little what I needed with the intention of getting my message right away, I would have probably dropped that very semester, because I was not ready for American educational academic culture whatsoever. I didn't know what to expect. In Russia, it's very different because we don't get to pick classes. There's a set schedule for every major. There's set times for every major. There's set teachers for every major. You don't get that choice. And you just get a choice to pick a major. And then they do the rest for you. There's not that many outside organizations there, like here with student government that Ejem's going to be talking later, or opportunities like to go to study to Bucknell that Karen's going to be taking later. We don't really do that. We really focus on the academic aspect of it, and I was lacking that experience, and I got all back here at LHIC. And another point that I wanted to make in this speech is that when I first came here, the person who held my position at the time, Louisa, she just came across my file by accident, because I went to regular testing center and I was scheduled to take a regular, just regular college English test, not the compass test we use for ESL students. And I don't know how she got me. She had this magic to catch and attract students and absorb them in the ESL program. And she called me and was like, look, Olga, I came across your file, and I know you're scheduled to take a regular college English test, but would you be interested in taking ESL test? And she started going off and on about the ESL program. I was like, excuse me, can I just ask one question? She's like, yeah, sure. I was like, what is ESL? Because she kept referring to ESL, and I had no idea what it was. And she's like, oh, it's English as a second language, and she explained it to me. And she paused in this conversation, waiting for this negativity to come out from me, because a lot of students have stigma about, oh, I don't want to be a student, I don't want to label this person who doesn't speak that well. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds great, because it is my second language, so I would totally do that, absolutely. And so I tested, and that's how I got to the ESL, and now I'm doing her job, and I'm testing students, and I'm trying to pull them out of everywhere, not to let them take the regular test and take the compass test. And I think it's so important, because those are just numbers. Those, seriously, if somebody tests for English 99 or English 100 or 105, these are nothing but numbers. And ESL program and the way we test students and the way we nurture them and make sure they go smoothly and transition smoothly from class to class and they go to college and become college students, I think it's so important. And when I have to persuade somebody, and even like a couple of months ago, before the fall semester started, I had exactly the same student, same position as mine. She was great, English was great, and she was placed in English 100, and I had to persuade her to not take the English 100, take the ESL 251 instead. It took me an hour of convincing. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. My English is fine. And everything that was going through my head 6 years ago was going exactly through her head. And I persuaded her now that she's in Bethany's class, and she's a shining star in there, and she enjoys that. And I feel like I did something right, and I'm glad that back in my time there was a person who did something right like this for me. And I'm so happy when situations like this happen, and now I'm able to help those people.
I just want to say, Olga's very persuasive. It's very hard to say no.
So, back it's my turn. Like Benjamin said, my name is Ejam. I came here 6 years ago from Turkey. And to be honest, I wouldn't give this speech if that wasn't about benefits of ESL classes, because I don't like to give a speech. My speech teacher is right there. So but I think I did a good job last semester, right? I still don't know. But thanks to my ESL teachers, they asked me to do this. Like I said, I wouldn't do this if they didn't ask me. And to be honest, LHIC was my first choice after high school, because I was in ESL in high school as well. And I was looking into the colleges, but I didn't really good on SATs. So I didn't have any choice actually beside LHIC. And then my high school ESL teacher told me about, look, Ajam, LHIC has ESL program. You should go there and transfer after that. And I said, okay, why not? I don't have any other choice. Anyway, so that's why I'm actually here. I took every single ESL classes here. And actually, that was one of the greatest things I did so far, because I could have jumped to other ESL classes, but I just didn't. I took the classes to practice more, to read more, to write more, to understand more. And after that, I went to English 105. I feel more confident about that class. And Bethany Zornick told me about SGA, Student Government Association, that we have in this college. Maybe, like most of the students, they don't know anything about it. But she told me about it, so I decided to join. That was the second best thing that I have done so far. Doing something in SGA helped me a lot. It's not something really amazing, but it is amazing inside. I mean, you just feel it. You're doing something for the college. You're doing something for yourself first. Because not knowing English, like Americans, you can still do something in that school. And when you do something, you feel happy. And then when you feel happy, you feel more stuff. And then it's kind of like chain. You get really into it. And actually, SGA become a reason that I'm staying here. I'm going to transfer, but I'm still thinking about how I'm going to leave SGA. That's true. I spent 2 semesters being a chair of programming. Now this semester, I'm chair of public relations. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably when I transfer, I'll be in SGA too, because right now it's part of my life. And I have learned more English in 2 semesters in LHIC than being an ESL student in high school for 3 years. So it shows me that LHIC has really, really good ESL programs. Need to be supported from other departments as well, from the college, because when you hear ESL, look, even ESL students say, oh, I don't want to be in ESL because you don't speak English, so you cannot be part of something. Nope, it's not right. So you're ESL. It's true, you don't speak English. You're not born with this language, so you have to learn it. And that gives you, the ESL classes gives you that English, part of missing English. So you're completing that. You're learning how to write. I mean, like Olga said, you can, at least I can write at least like 2 pages introduction, but not 1 page, like 1 paragraph introduction. So it's total different cultures, does different style of learning, writing, or reading. And that ESL classes teaches you that. And when you learn them, you're better, you feel better, and more confident. And just one thing, when you exit ESL classes, you don't exit ESL. And you don't learn that perfect English when you finish, when you complete those ESL classes. And especially after that, students need more help from their major teacher, or different department teachers, because they're still learning, but they complete so far that after ESL, they need your help. Because until end of ESL teachers helps them. But after that, they're major, they need more help. So I start as ESL, I will go anywhere.
Tell them where you're going next.
Oh, I'm going to Marywood University in Scranton, and I will be majoring in interior architecture.
Well, my name is Karen Peralta, as you all heard. We all are honored to be here from you talking about our experiences here. And for me, particularly, I think that I have something really important to say because coming from another country in 2010 and being the first student from a family that doesn't know the English, that have the challenge to come to the university now and accomplish things that they're expecting me to do because I was good since the beginning in my country. It's like a really, really challenging stage, not only because it's a new language, but also because the new culture, the life that I have to handle also here, my family, people that I'm meeting from my country, and it's college experience is something very difficult sometimes. And coming to L3C, when I found L3C in the internet, researching about the best ways for me to fit in, to learn, and to get the fullest out of myself, I came here and I was going for GED first because my high school diploma was a little messed up in my country. So I wanted to have the high school diploma here. I went for GED and the ESL instructor that taught me told me that my English was not so bad, that I can have ESL classes and I could accomplish more in that way. So I went for my ESL classes, 2 semesters, awesome, great. But those ESL classes were really important for the career that I am today. Now, this is my 5th semester here in L3C. I am majoring in education, and I'll be, my hope is to transfer to Yale University with a BA in biology and a BA in education. So all of that, it was because of the ESL program that I was in. Those years that when I came here, those doubts, those misconceptions that I had about English, about my success here, it was a lot of things going on, but just sitting there in those 2 classes helped me to build my confidence, helped me to build my academic skills, not only in the academic language, but also my academic skills as a student, how the American system works for a student. And that was the stepping stone for me to go to Bucknell. Not only me has gone there, but I have more fellows that they were also ESL students that were the inspiration for me, that I could accomplish more, not just being a number, but just accomplish something else. That confidence, it was from the ESL program that I was in. I have heard a lot from women that behind a great man, there's a great woman too. But for me, I can say that behind a great student, there's a great community of support and encouragement, because in the ESL program, I had like everything that I need. I remember when I was working in the ESL department, every time that I was in the office, they were like, you're shining, and you're this, and you're that. And I'm like, no, I'm not that. But those little things that sometimes we think is just too much, those little things help us to accomplish more and to help us to challenge ourselves more. Now I am president of the CCF, that's the Campus Christian Fellowship here in school. I'm part of TESA, the Teacher Education Association for students here. I'm part of the Student Government Association, chair of the programming, and now eligible for Kappa Delta Pi and P Kappa Delta 2. So those things are not just magic. Those things are happening since the beginning. For having a great beginning and to having a great ending, we need that support. And I received that support from the ESL program until my regular classes. But I know that I wouldn't be successful in my regular classes if it was not for that support that I had at the beginning. That challenge that I received at the beginning, that belief, that support that I received at the beginning, that it was not just you have to learn the language, you have to do this, you have to do that, but I understand you are this, you are that. I didn't believe in myself like accomplishing a new language. In my country, we are taught English, but not the American English. It's the old English version. And when I came here, I tried to speak and I tried to do things, in public and stuff like that. And it wasn't working. So I knew that I needed that. And not coming here, I didn't come here just for learning that, but also to receive the support through the process, and I did receive that. And that was awesome. And I know many other students that have ESL as prohibited. I don't want to do that. That's void for me. Wait. They need that too, and sometimes they are in classrooms and they are just trying to avoid that. But they need that, and they can receive that from the staff, from the teachers, from everywhere. Because I have received that in the communities that I'm now connected in the clubs that I'm connected in. And one of the best things for me was joining the Bucknell program this summer, because I learned from the communities that I made here that coming to another place and really being myself and representing my school, that's something good to do, but I didn't feel capable of doing that. So I went there with the confidence that yes, somebody else has done this before, I'll be fine. But on the other hand, oh no, my English is not good. My writing skills, they demand a lot. This is a great school, this is huge. No, yes, no. So it was really confusing. But coming back from Bucknell and knowing that not only other ESL students have done this before with American students at the same pace, same rate, but coming back and having the experience that the same community of support is going to be everywhere. I just have to have that confidence. I just have to have the right place to start with, and I can really go anywhere. It's not just coming here. It's not just knowing that I have to learn the language. It's really start good, start right, and really go anywhere. It has been an amazing opportunity for me to be part of LHRC. I love being here, and I'll be soon transferring, but I have a lot of treasures with me, starting from the language, starting from the professors to my students, and it's been great. It's been great, and I don't regret coming here. I remember I was going to go to NAC, and I was like, ESL and LHRC is more convenient for me. Let's go here. And I don't regret coming here, and I feel really proud of what I have done here. And tons of my fellow students, my friends, what they have accomplished too is we have a great place here, and it's just a matter of having the right opportunities at the right time and knowing those opportunities and just challenge yourselves. You can challenge yourself. I like challenges. We like challenges. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Clark. I'm from Haiti. I speak Creole. This is my mother's tongue. And always, actually I speak French, but French is the educational language in my country. You have to speak if you go to school. They're not going to allow you to speak Creole while you're in class. So I was forced to learn French, but it became natural because like more than 14 years speaking French, it's become my language. And I had a bachelor in my country from medical school for for medical technology. Then when I came here like 8 years ago, none of my credentials were passed because they said it's medical, you have to go start again. And I said, okay, but I had responsibility, I had to go to work, so I couldn't fit in my schedule with going to school. Then 2 years ago, I came here in LHIC, and the same thing happened that happened to Olga. The same day I came here and filled my application, and I received a call from Louisa, from ESL department, said, oh, Clark, we'd like to have you first for the ESL program. Yeah, great, because I know I will need that, because I know my English is not at the level to start any courses. Then I took my ESL classes and I stopped because the job I had, I couldn't fit my schedule with school. And then I decided to come back for last spring and register for mechanical engineering. I was thinking, even though I was out of school, I was working, but my heart was here because the experience I had in the ESL class, English 105, 251, accent reduction, that was amazing because I couldn't think that I would be so comfortable because I know English is not my language, but the culture with other students, Spanish speaking, Russian, everywhere. So I was in my field. I feel like I'm home because I know all the students around me were in the same path and they had the same experience that I'm in. So that gave me more comfort, more confidence that I could succeed. And the LHIC offered one of the greatest ESL programs. They have great professors, great tutors, and because of the ESL program, I can be part of the STEM, which is very proud because I know that, one of the professors used to say in the STEM meeting, we are the elite of LHIC if we understand program. And I'm very proud now because of ESL, because what I've learned, because of the confidence I gained from ESL program, I'm more comfortable to pursue my dream. From experience, I can say immigrant student works harder, not because they need to be greater than anybody else, but they realize that when they exit ESL, they don't find the same support, they don't find the same understanding from other teachers, from even classmates, because they feel that they're not really people don't understand them. They understand them the way that they were supposed to. I think LHIC can make a difference by adding some, in its current personnel, an immigrant student office. For example, some people available to welcome, to promote, or even making connection for those students that comes from other countries. They don't speak English. Because the ESL department, I think, should start at the administration building, not at the RC. So once because the students they're not gonna come to ARC first. They're going to the administration building for filling papers or whatever they need to do first. So they should see ESL once they get to this building. And then they can have the help, the support they need to succeed in the future. This extra help toward the this immigrant student, I think will make a big difference. And for the outreach of the community, which getting bigger and bigger around us, I think it would be a big thing, because if we have this program in financial aid office and counseling office, business office, it will be great. Because LTRC is where immigrant students start to go everywhere. And I do think I gain from that, I gain from ESL. I'm still an ESL student, because when I got caught, those books I had from the ESL program, that's where I get back to catch up on something, some grammar, some sentence structure. So that's, ESL is, once you start ESL and you do good, you have the support you need, you will go everywhere. Thank you.
And the last but not least, I'm Renata, and I can easily relate to any one of your stories, because I'm an immigrant student. I'm a teacher on the rise that's passion is teach immigrant students. I want to teach English. And when I first came to the United States, I already had a degree from my own country. I was I had a master's in early childhood education, but I was in my very early 20s, and I wanted to really learn English. So ESL was when I came here, ESL was the first step at the LTRC that I began. And there were, as an institution as a whole, equipped me in everything it's possible in order to be successful in real life, and as a tutor, as a teacher. And however, the first base was the ESL department, when I have learned that in American schools, students learn to write, and then they write to learn. In my own home country, I was accustomed to memorize everything, and then to go to take tests, and I would be just saying what I have memorized. Here, students are encouraged to think, to creatively resolve problems, to go from different angles and look at different things. So there was just a different way that students were being taught. In ESL department, however, I have gained, as I said, writing skills that help me to be successful in other classes. And now I can write emails or anything easily and professionally. Then also involvement in many different activities that ESL department provides, coffee houses or different events, gave me a sense of empowerment and importance, and also professionalism while working as a student worker. So that gave me overall a confidence to be more aggressive when it comes to fulfilling my dreams in this country. And then I, as I said, when it comes to that base, I also met my mentor, Mia, who is a great teacher, and when I was taking her class that it's called accent reduction class, I knew that I'm going to enter education field. So I wanted to speak clearly, professionally, and as closely as possible to, I wanted to sound closely to a native speaker. And that, shortly after starting the class, I have discovered that was kind of like a light bulb that is truly helping, that is improving my pronunciation, and I've noticed that whomever I'm talking to is understanding me and actually listening and is asking questions. So that was a feeling of empowerment, and as I said, improve my pronunciation, and I think was a critical point in my life, in my career, that I've gained that confidence while speaking. And later on, I went to educational courses, and I finished. But as I said, L3C as a community, every single teacher, every single office, every single admissions, student services is helping immigrant communities, is helping immigrant students, and you might not realizing, but you're creating leaders, diverse leaders who will be supporting our children, and they'll be educating our children. So as I said, I'm very fortunate that I had a chance to go through ESL program and then through the whole L3C career, and I'm glad to be still a part of that. And as I said, my passion is teaching immigrants English, so I'm going to be in this field for quite some time.
I'd just like to say that we would not have the strong program we have now if it weren't for Renata's tutoring. She is such a critical part of our program. She works with students at every level and has really been the force to get many of them through the program successfully. Thank you, Renata.
Okay, I don't know what else I didn't say.
A few closing words from the maestro.
Yeah, I'll say a few closing words. So, no, I share everyone's appreciation for the school. And we all share the same story, actually. We all came from different countries. We all came from, we heard success stories. We heard everyone has a passion about moving somewhere else. So to me, we made a choice to find a location where we're going to live. We found a location where we're going to build our homes. What we needed the tools to help us build our homes and our future on a solid base. And to me, I found the tool in the ESL program. I mentioned upstairs, it's so much challenging. Even when you're not a speaker, you don't have to be speaking in public, but to yourself, just the level of confidence you have plays a big role in your success in life. We as individuals, when we feel so confident about ourselves, we are more motivated to achieve more. We are more motivated to succeed in life. And that motivation and encouragement from the ESL program and the level of confidence we gained, I guess, for me personally, was a major factor in me moving beyond and outside the L3C. So my first job was cleaning the kitchen and the bathrooms at McDonald's on 15th Street and Tillman a week after I came to this country, and then because I didn't know the language. So that was the easy job that I didn't need to communicate to anyone. So I went in, got my soap and my water, and I started cleaning the bathroom. So I got paid for that, which was good. But what I didn't get paid is, so I didn't drive back then. And my dad used to go and pick me up. And I sit in the back seat just behind him because I used to cry in the car saying to myself, why would I do this? So I finished an engineering degree before, and that's not what I wanted for 5 years to do. So I need to do something else. And that questioning myself, the questioning attitude that I had me look for the right locations and coming here because I needed help. And most of us who comes from different countries, we feel shy about asking for help. But if we all believe that the help we're asking for is only for a short period of time, it's only temporary, and then you're going to be in a position where you will be able to provide help to others, that, I guess, will encourage each one of us to admit the weaknesses we have and work on them. Because if we keep them for ourselves, don't feel shy about speaking. And I had many jobs, and from delivering pizza downtown Allentown to, I mentioned McDonald's, to be a cash register cashier at Save-A-Lot store, which is downtown Allentown, to a pizza man, a chef in the kitchen, making gyro sandwiches in different places, many places. And to me that was temporary, because I knew that that kind of work and that kind of activities that I was doing, which maybe someone would say, which I say to myself, that if I would continue to clean the bathrooms here, then I better go back and live in my country because I was an engineer. But because I knew that's for a short period of time. Again, I really thank you, Ms. Munia, and to your program and the school and all my teachers in the past. It helped me a lot. Now I'm going through the MBA, which is completely different than the engineering. So Renata mentioned that back home we need to memorize and then go to the exam. So I was fortunate because I'm an engineer. Just give me 6 pages explanation where you get the formula, and that's all what I need. I just flip to the formula itself. I don't need to memorize it. But now in the MBA, I realized the strength that I had through the ESL program. Because from Tuesday to Tuesday, I have to write minimum of 15 to 20 pages and read about 300 pages, 6 days participations on blogs, in the blackboards, in blogs and threads, 5 times a day, minimum of 6 days a week, and you need to read and write in English. And you have to rise to the level of the Native Americans. I came in here, I didn't go to the high school, I jumped in the second year at college, and here I am. I didn't learn the first grade, the elementary, and secondary. So what I gained, really, I don't want to talk much about it, because I think I'm just giving you an example that what I learned through this program had me capable to compete with a second-year college student. And I graduated with 3.86 GPA from Temple, and third year I was offered to teach robotic programming inside the robot lab. So that was a great opportunity for me. Now my company is paying for my education, which I'm getting a lot of support. And my success at my company is something also I like to add, kind of, maybe I had the motivation, but I didn't have the help before I came here. And that's a key. Not to get shy about asking for help, utilize the opportunities when we find them, don't let them go away because they won't come back. Ask for help, ask the right person for help, and don't rush into your goals, because you won't get your college degree just for going into 2 semesters or 3 semesters. You need to go 4 years, because there's a value for each year, there's a value for each step you put your foot on it. And when we come in from different countries, we don't appreciate that. So I was an engineer, I just want to be an engineer tomorrow. I don't care what does it take me to become an engineer. It's not gonna happen. And had I missed that step, which is a very strong link in the chain of my career so far, I'll be always going back and saying, I have a weakness that I didn't address and I didn't do anything about it, but I still admitted to myself that I'm still weak, but I didn't do anything about it. And now the fact that I manage engineers and inspectors, I guess I proved it to myself and I proved it to Ms. Munir that your program worked because I was taught until the 747 airplane and the JFK had everybody left. So the officer would come in and help me to fill in the I-94 card, which has 3 lines, first name, last name, occupation, something else. And he had me stand on the side. I didn't know how to fill it. I had no clue what was it about, no English whatsoever. And I've been here since 2001, so it's not like 20 or 30 years. So thank you. Thanks for the school for playing a big role in our lives in the community. I came back, and I'm sure everybody shares me the same thing, to pay back a little bit of what we gained. And I consider myself lucky for being in this area, closer to Ultra. I see that I had a chance to come in and just absorb what I could. So thanks, everyone, and hopefully I didn't bore all of you.
Okay, so I just want to thank our panel, and I want to say that everything we ask them, they do. We have students volunteering for a million things a year that nobody even knows about. They come into the school districts with us, they participate in Your Future Is Now conference, they do programs here every week, every month of the year, and they've been doing it for years, and we just appreciate so much that they come back and inspire others and help among themselves. We're really proud of them. I don't know what the time is, there time for questions? What time does this finish?
11:33.
Does anybody have a question or a comment, or?
I have a comment, I should have gone through the ASL.
I actually have a question. Several of you mentioned that the regular instructors, regular professors, could be doing something a little bit differently or a little bit more to help you make that bridge. Do you have any specific recommendations that you can do?
I was actually a student, Mrs. Sagadi, and from your class, I have received a full support. For example, while observing school board meetings, and then I would have to write those papers, and a journal, and different writing assignments. Once or twice I ask you for extra day because it's long, and and this is the first time that I'm doing this kind of report, and I want to be as observant on papers as I'm observant in actuality, the reality. And you gave me an extra day or two, and I appreciate that. That was, for example, that. Or another example would be if taking chemistry class, and I had a good chemistry background in high school. So whatever I was learning in high school, that was a chemistry one here at college, because I had to take that in order to graduate. And I was not learning new concepts, however, I was learning a new vocabulary. So as an immigrant student, I was learning a vocabulary. That was refreshing and dusting off the knowledge that I already had. Forgot about that, but I was just refreshing that, but I was learning new vocabulary. However, when it came to writing reports or kind of different assignments when it comes to from the lab, I didn't know how to do that, so I would ask my professor, can I please have an example of that, so I can know which direction I'm going, because my way of describing the experiment can be something different in this school system. Somebody can fail me on what is this? So I always ask my instructors, can I see an example? Can I just see an example? So I can follow the patterns, I can follow the bullets, I can do that in a similar way, my way. And but however, that came later. As a person who lived in a post-communist country, you may find a lot of immigrant students who are maybe not intimidated by teachers, not afraid of teachers, but they kind of like, there's a kind of like a distance that we don't attend office hours, we don't do tutoring. I'm an old soul, so I'm old school. However, younger generations are more flexible to that. I found a great difficulties to go to somebody's office hours and to just, for example, if I missed the class, I wanted to say what did I miss, but I would fight myself for like 2 days emotionally, and then I would go. And I realized that it's a great tool to get better and to be more successful. So that was nice. Hoping that this has helped. And additionally, one more thing that is on my mind, that our immigrant students, as soon as they exit ESL, they come to English classes. English department is the first one who gets them. And I remember my English 106 class when we started the semester with interpreting poetry. And I love reading and I love English. English is my passion. However, poetry is my least favorite subject, at least favorite part of the English or Polish. And nowadays, when I'm kind of grown, I appreciate poetry. But and then we had those. I clearly remember that poem, like 9 lines poem, and we had to write 7-page essay. And I was so ironic. It was so ironic, and I'm like, this is. And in my mind, I'm like, this is a hypocrisy. I just came from Poland. Well, I was writing around in circles, not getting to the point, and then I'm entering ESL when they teach me to get to the point, and here 9 lines poem, right? And I said to myself, I'm just gonna go back to my Polish roots and go in circles. So it was a writing confusion, but I'm like, this was an easy adjustment. The other thing is that many our immigrant students don't have a culture background, not necessarily are in the culture mode yet. For example, when we had that poem, in that poem was a Granny Smith apple. I'm from Poland, and we eat apples every day, and I didn't know what Granny apples, the green is. I went to the grocery store after class, and I look at, and every single time I'm grocery shopping right now, when I look at those kind of apples, it reminds me. So we don't have a culture. The other thing is, so if you are understanding and if you are kind of aware that immigrant students exit the ESL, but every single day we learn, our vocabulary expands, our speaking skills improve, our pronunciation becomes clear. So every day is the change for immigrant students. So it's just being patient and warm, welcoming, and that's all. But you did a great job, Mrs. Gavin.
I would like to add something else. I'm fortunate that all my teachers so far, they have been really welcoming and understanding, but I know a lot of my friends, some of them, they're super shy and they do not open themselves a little bit. So I think one of those strategies is to demonstrate that they can do that, always be open with them, because I know it's hard to just go to office hours to ask for help. I accustomed myself like a year ago to that. I was not into that a lot. That mode for me was not on yet. So I've been working on that, but I know not everyone is the same. I know not everyone is going to look for help. Not everyone is going to look for that support, ask questions, and they might be silly, they might be just too simple, but not everyone is going to do that. Coming from the Dominican Republic and not having strong academics was another challenge too, because I finished my high school, but I remember that my 2 first years of high school were the strongest one, at least in science, where I'm now majoring, and I want to succeed too, because that's what I want to teach. So now that I'm taking science classes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should go myself and relearn something in Spanish and then do it in English and then do it again and look for videos. It's easier for me to look for things as in a visual way. But now in English, I have to write it down, I have to read them, and then go for videos, but then I have to go back in Spanish and do the same circle. It's a slow process, and sometimes we cannot explain that. We can explain that, and sometimes we get stuck, and we don't go and ask for help because we don't even know what we're doing. So I think it's a matter of understanding, patience, and just walking side by side with us. Sometimes are a little bit laid back, but it's not on purpose. It's because we want that push. We want that someone pushing from the back, challenging us and letting us know that they are there, just walking side by side with us. That's a really important thing that I have had so far, and that's been helping me a lot. But I know some of my friends, they haven't had that, and that's one of the difference that I have made in recognizing that that's really important, and for me, it has been really important.
Anybody else?
Claudia said, I think you said that that ESL department should begin in the administration building. So when students come in the door. In your experiences, how do you think that LTRC can do a better job in helping immigrant students come into LTRC, navigate admissions and enrollment and registration, financial aid, so that you can get to what it is that you come here for, which is to be in the classroom?
I would think by networking. I don't think the administration building knows every student what their native language. The ESL department knows, but not the administration building. And I really think also, even among those, I don't know if there's teachers that speak 1 or 2 different languages, right? So when somebody know English and comes to the administration building, that's where the networking should start. And let's say I speak French, somebody speak French come to the building and nobody understand what he's saying. Let's say, I think we can call Clark, and Clark can help with this situation. So if they have the networking, like,